As we begin our discussion on leadership in diversity, equity, and inclusivity or inclusion, it is important to recognize the effective public leadership today must respond to increasingly diverse population and complex social realities. Public administrators are entrusted with the responsibility of designing policies, managing institutions, and delivering services that affect individuals from varied cultural, social, and economic background. Leadership in diversity, equity, and inclusion requires more than compliance with policies because it demands intentional actions, ethical awareness, and commitment to fairness in decision-making and governance. For Master in Public Administration student, this topic is directly connected to your professional roles as future leaders, managers, and policy makers. Leadership in DEI emphasizes creating environments where differences are valued, resources are distributed fairly, and participation is genuinely inclusive. And these principles influence hiring practices, budget allocation, service access, and stakeholder engagement in public institutions. With this foundation established, I now invite the presenters to discuss the key concepts, strategies, and real-world application of leadership in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Go ahead.
Yes, Professor. Good afternoon, Professor. Good afternoon, classmates. So I am here to present about leadership in diversity, equity, and inclusion. So for our expected learning outcomes, so first we'll learn the important variables for a healthy work environment. We'll be able to understand organizational culture and its impact, and learn strategies to foster employee well-being and work-life balance as grounded in diversity, equality, and inclusion. So first, creating a happy and healthy work environment in public administration is critical for improving well-being, increasing organizational effectiveness, and encouraging public service excellence. So, sa isang work environment, it is important na ma-maintain yung employee morale, yung motivation, and job satisfaction because a healthy environment starts with a healthy and happy employees. So, the important variables in creating such environment is first, promoting mutual respect and dignity. So it is important part of developing a pleasant work environment wherein respect and dignity is when employees feel valued and treated fairly. So they are more engaged and productive. So whatever the culture or whatever is the background of your employee, you should treat them with respect and dignity. Second is trust. Trusting relationship between supervisors and employees foster a sense of psychological safety and empowerment. So this allows employee to communicate openly and perform their duties with confidence. Trust can be practiced in the organization by empowering your employees by listening to them, taking in consideration of their suggestions in order to improve your organization. Third is collaboration. So collaboration is essential for building a healthy work environment in public administration. As many activities and initiatives require teamwork. So effective collaboration improves coordination, problem solving, and service delivery. Kasi we know that as public administrators, mostly we are the leaders in our organization, and it takes a skill in order to effectively guide everyone in our team to collaborate positively and effectively. Next variable is open communication. So it allows employees to freely share their ideas, concerns, and comments to improve clarity, alignment, and accountability. So a good relationship requires good communication. So it also applies in our organization. So we must listen to everyone, especially pag meron silang specific needs, concerns, or suggestions. Fifth is conflict management. So good conflict resolution is critical to sustaining a positive work environment. Addressing issues professionally helps maintain healthy working relationships. So we must always ensure as leaders that meron tayong emotional quotient and at this besides sa intellectual capability natin to handle conflict well within the people around us. Sixth is leadership. So it is crucial in developing corporate culture and climate which contribute to a healthy work environment. So leadership is important sa pag-create ng corporate culture kasi mostly kung sino ang leaders ng organization when they implement something, especially yung mga positive na implementation sa mga maliliit na bagay, it creates that culture kung paano nila dadalhin yung organization. For example, yung isang leader is culturally sensitive. So, kapag, for example, is holiday ng mga Muslim, so, um, ang ginagawa nila, for example, sa city namin, pag holiday ng Muslim is wala talagang klase. So, or walang work. So, simple things like that in leadership creates a healthy work environment for everyone. Seven is inclusivity. So, it is making all employees feel appreciated. So, in an inclusive workplace ensures that all employees feel valued, respected, and appreciated regardless of background or position. So, may nabasa akong quote na diversity is inviting everyone to the party, but inclusivity is inviting everyone to a dance. So, inclusivity is not just about inviting people of various background, but it's about involving them in the organization. Eight is recognition and gratitude. So recognizing employees' contributions, accomplishments, and efforts. So this increases motivation and strengthens commitment to the organization. Siyempre, pag may recognition and gratitude, mas ginaganahan yung mga employees natin to do better for the organization because they know that the organization appreciates their efforts. Nine is work-life balance. So promoting work-life balance helps prevent stress and burnout, leading to better performance and overall well-being. So pag may work-life balance yung ating organization, na-appreciate ng ating mga employees na itong aking employee ay hindi lang trabaho yung iniisip nila but also my moral and my welfare. 10 is employee engagement. So it is an indicator of strong work environment. High employee engagement is a strong indicator of a positive and effective work environment. Ibig sabihin, pag mataas yung engagement ng employee mo, there is trust and open communication because they are able to contribute well to the organization. 11 is wellness programs and activities. So physical activities, mental health services, and stress management support employees' overall health. And lastly is training and development. So continuous training and development help employees improve their skill, knowledge, and competencies. Next is understanding organizational culture and its impact on performance. So what is organizational culture? It is the shared values, beliefs, norms, and practices that influence employee behavior and interactions within organization. It usually reflected sa mission statement, vision statement, and core values ng organization. So it affects the organization's approach to diversity, equality, and inclusion because yung organization culture, it shapes how people see or observe the norm na naset sa ating organization. So kung ang culture natin is positive, it reinforces diversity and inclusion, it will reflect to all employees. But on the other hand, kung ang culture na na-build sa isang organization is selective and it does not include other people based on their background, it also reflect on how the employees treat each other. So,
You've been. Need you to be. My imagination. Now, where the hell
um,
have you been?
may ipa-play lang po ako na video na it shows the importance of inclusion.
imagination. Where the hell do you go every day?
To the back.
Bath. The damn bath. 40 minutes a day? What do you do? Gee, I'm serious. I put my faith in you.
There's no bathrooms.
You do this.
There is no bathroom. There are no colored bathrooms in this building.
So, sa video na ito, since medyo mahina po yung audio, so yung isang employee na female is a black woman na nagtatrabaho sa NASA. And ang struggle niya is yung walang colored bathroom sa kanilang office. So tinanong siya ng kanyang boss kung saan siya everyday for 40 minutes and she said na to the bathroom kasi nga walang colored bathroom sa kanilang workplace and everyday niya yun nilalakad dahil lang doon sa reason na yun. So ang ginawa ng kanyang boss, i-forward ko lang po. So dito na part na is sinira ng boss na yung label sa mga CR. So it shows that it is pag sa organization, pag yung leader is pina-priority niya yung diversity and inclusion, he will destroy all the barriers that is existing para ensure na everyone is included in the organization. Next is promoting a culture of trust, respect, and accountability. So, it is critical for creating a healthy and productive work environment. And it is the foundation of a strong organizational culture because first is trust. Trust is the cornerstone of solid interpersonal connection and productive teamwork. Kapag may tiwala ka sa kasama mo, may tiwala ka sa sarili mo and sa leader mo, of course, it will start the growth, the leadership. Second is respect. So respect ensures that everyone feels valued and heard and appreciated. And lastly is accountability. It provides clear standards and ensures that people take responsibility for their actions. So for example, is relating to that video. So it shows that the leader has that respect na yung sa kanyang employee, he ensured that she is heard, narinig niya yung concern that just because of that bathroom. And as a leader, he made sure na tinanggal niya na lahat ng whatever the label is sa bathroom for his subordinate. So, strategies for fostering employee well-being and work-life balance. So, as a public administrator, these are some of the strategies such as flexible work arrangements, like telecommuting, flexible hours, and shortened work weeks, whatever is fitting for your organization. Second is distinction between work and personal life. So, unplug from work during non-working hours. So kung kaya naman na after 5 p.m., hayaan na natin yung mga employees natin to have their own time, personal life, and kung kaya pa naman ma-address yung work matters the next day. So let's uphold that as possible. Third is wellness programs and activities. So such as physical fitness activities, mental health services, and stress management. So pwedeng yung mga like may mga exercise kayo sa organization or parang Zumba day, ganun. And fourth is employee assistance program. So, ensure din natin sa organization na pag may nangangailangan talaga employees, merong capability yung organization natin to help those in need. So, to end my report is a quote from Alexis Herman, so an American politician, and he said that inclusion and fairness in the workplace is not simply the right thing to do, it is the smart thing to do. So as future public administrators, let us ensure that we treat everyone with respect and uphold that diversity and inclusion in our workplace. So that would be all, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, presenter. Again, as what I have mentioned earlier, no, leadership in diversity focuses on recognizing and valuing differences among individuals and communities. In public administration, this may be reflected in a government agency that builds a workforce representing various cultural, gender, and generational backgrounds. Such diversity enhances decision making by incorporating multiple perspectives, leading to policies and programs that are more responsive to public needs. Equity in leadership involves ensuring fairness by acknowledging that individuals and groups may require different levels of support to achieve similar outcomes. For example, a local government implementing social services may allocate additional resources to marginalized communities facing systemic barriers. Equity-oriented leadership ensures that public programs address real needs rather than applying uniform solutions that overlook disparities. Inclusion ensures that diversity and equity translate into meaningful participation in belonging. And inclusive ensures that diversity and equity translate into meaningful participation and belonging. So, an inclusive public leader creates spaces where employees and citizens feel respected, heard, and empowered to contribute. For MPA students, this topic reinforces a critical lesson because again, effective public leadership requires intentional effort to build trust, promote fairness, and ensure that public institutions truly serve all members of the society. And that's it for this topic. Thank you so much, President.